Good morning, everybody. So we're just doing a quick parts run at the moment. Got to duck into town and pick up a new PDO for the rotary hoe. We cracked one of the yokes on the PDO shafts. I need just a yoke for both sides of the PDO. I've got to price up the difference, whether it's worth buying 2 new yokes or whether it's just worth getting a whole new PDO. Anyway, we'll figure that out when we get in here. Well, good afternoon, everyone. We are on the way back into town for the second time today. We're heading back into town now to get a new shaft. It's actually been a bit of an ordeal today. I've spent already about 2.5 hours in this car when I wanted to get a whole day's work done. What's the time now? It's 2 o'clock now. By the time I get back out home, it's going to be 4 o'clock. And then we're going out for dinner tonight, so that's another trip to town. That's 3 trips to town today. And I need a haircut. I don't even have time to get a haircut. Today has been an extremely unproductive day. But anyway, we'll try and get this done as quickly as we can, and then we'll get out home and hopefully we'll have enough time to put that PDO on. We are behind getting all that stuff done. If it wasn't so urgent, I probably wouldn't be running into town twice in one day for the same thing. That's why I'm heading in again. Just driving past heap of vineyards at the moment. They're all getting pushed out. One side of the road, all of the vines are cut off at the butt, and the other side of the road, there's no vines left. They're pulling out posts. Geez, there's a heap of citrus going in though around the area, and by the area I mean in a couple hundred square kilometres of where I live. There is a lot of citrus going in, a lot of land being cleared, a lot of new citrus being developed, and a lot of them are like big corporate farms as well. I feel like the demand isn't really huge for citrus as it is, let alone thousands and thousands or tens and tens of thousands of more acres going in of citrus is worth it. The farms that are already feeling the pressure of low prices because of supply and demand and stuff like that, what's that going to do? How's that going to affect them? These corporate farms, they're not in it to be farmers. They're in it to hold an asset until it appreciates enough for them to sell it. And if the asset pays for itself or makes a little bit on top, then happy days, I suppose. But yeah, in the meantime, it's cutting the lunch of all of the family farms and all the farmers that have dedicated their lives to farming. Who knows what sort of an effect that's going to have, but we will find out. We will find out eventually. But anyway, we are just cruising into town now, so I will catch you guys when we have a new PDO. What a day. What a day. I actually can't believe it, and I don't know if you guys can either. Let me get up here a bit before I start my rant. Number one, I wasn't 100% sure of the size of the PDO that we needed to get. I was told it was a Series 7, but it ended up being a Series 8. So a size 8, Series 8, whatever you want to call it. So the first shop I went to that I picked up the first PDO shaft this morning, I went back there to take it back and hopefully get it swapped out. The first mob that I went to, they didn't have the right clutch set up for the Howard rotary hoe. And they also didn't do the right size shaft that I needed. So the shaft that they gave me was too small. The big end of the shaft actually fit up the big end of our shaft. So it was almost like a whole size too small or 2 sizes too small. And the second shop I went to, they're actually the Bearco dealer in town, which is the brand of PDO shaft that we're using. And they quoted me $4,000 for a new shaft. $4,000. I nearly fell over backwards. The look on the guy's face when he seen the look on my face after he told me the price was priceless. But anyway, so before I left there, I actually ordered a new yoke and uni setup assembly so that I can just pin it onto our shaft. So I ordered that, but he's still a week away from even having that here. And then I thought I'd just try our local Kubota dealer. They're who we go through for pretty much everything, but usually they're not the one I think of when I think of PDO shafts. And wouldn't you know it, they had the exact shaft I needed. Not only was it the exact shaft I needed, it was the exact shaft I just got quoted $4,000 for at the previous shop. 430 bucks for the whole bloody shaft. I'll show you when I get home. I'll show you the shaft. I don't know. I don't know what to think of this whole situation. Like, how can I go from one tractor shop to another? There's nearly a 10x difference in the price of a single PDO shaft with the same part number. I'd like some help understanding. If anyone else understands and is willing to shed a little bit of light on the situation, I get it. We're in a free market, it's a free country, and I've just been sent on wild goose chases all day. Mainly because I got bad information about the size of the shaft. That sounds wrong. I better be careful how I say that. Anyway, yeah, so that was my fault about the clutch end. I didn't realise that, I assumed. You know what they say about assuming. I'm still absolutely gobsmacked about that. The same shaft, same part number. Like, it's not like it was second hand, it was still wrapped in plastic. I'm not going to mention any names either, because we deal with these companies a lot and we use them for a lot of different things. Until now, we've had no issues with them. But I'll definitely be getting second opinions when I go to that second shop again for pricing. It's absolutely insane. $4,000 down to $430. That's really cheap. You don't get to say that very often these days. The original one that I bought home today, that was a Class 6 shaft. And that cost me $990. It wasn't a Bearco shaft. They're a local mob that I'm pretty sure they actually make the shafts here. Well, they assemble them. I suppose they can charge what they like, but the second shop I went to, they had the exact same Bearco. Well, they didn't have it in stock. They were going to order me the exact same Bearco shaft that I got from the third shop, but for 10 times the price. But I feel like if that was my shop, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. Anyway, let's get home. Let's check this shaft out. I don't know if I'm going to get time to fit it up today, but anyway, we'll get it out and have a look. I'll show you guys what's going on. We'll talk about tomorrow and see how we go. Alright, here's what we got to deal with. This is the PDO that we're replacing. So this is the tractor end of the PDO. There's another yoke off of this side, but that exploded. And I had another couple of other boxes to pick up for Dad. They're seats for our RTV, our Kubota RTV, and a belt for the M7. This shaft here is too long. It needs to be cut down so its max length is going to be about that. I'll measure it up with the other one. Got sent on wild goose chase after wild goose chase, and yeah, I finally made it home at the end of the day with the right PDO though, so that's the main thing. PDO and the rotary hose all going again, and the auto steer's working well. He's nearly got across this patch here. Done a fair bit of it. Probably another 2 hours or so to go just to finish off that little bit over there, and this patch will be all cleaned up. So this was our problem. Besides me still needing a haircut, this was what we had to deal with yesterday. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see there. See where it's a bit dull and it's shiny here? There must have been an original crack in here that caused this to break off eventually, I suppose. Hopefully it's not too windy here. It is a shocking day today. We had rain, had a couple of mil of rain, probably 2 mil of rain, just enough to make a nuisance, stop us picking for the day and all the rest of it. And it's just been a cold and windy day ever since, so we're getting through it though. This must have had an original crack in it, which obviously created a weak point and it eventually broke. I told the story yesterday anyway, but we ended up getting away with it pretty cheap, so happy about that. Noel's back rotary hoeing. Everything seems to be working fine, so no complaints. We have something behind us here that we need to deal with. We are currently at the neighbour's place where we were picking the other day, and yeah, we've still got a little bit left to pick, but we're not expecting any frost here over the next few days, so yeah, the plan is to just take this down and get it set up on our place. I need to take it back, fuel it up, go over it, make sure it's all good, then set it up where we need it set up. So I know I've done a few videos with the frost fan before, but I've never actually done a video of putting it up and taking it down, so I thought we might go over that today. I just need to make sure we've got enough volts for it to actually function, which we do. That's good. So what the deal is now, you can see it's pointed that way. We need it pointing straight down the trailer so we can lower it down onto its mount. So what we'll do now is we'll straighten it up to the mount and then we'll lower it down. I kind of feel a bit naked without my hat, but it would have been absolutely useless bringing it out today. It would have ended up over in the neighbour's place. Okay, so we've got this fan facing the right way. This pin goes in there, pin drops down in there to lock it in place for travel. I think everything else is right. So what we want to do now, it can't come down yet because of this brace. There should be a bit of pressure on that brace, but not sure. There was when I put it up. Anyway, so how this brakes works is I'll take a little bit more pressure off the hydraulics. So we'll let it down a bit. And that brace there is supposed to hold the weight of that arm without the hydraulics having to be under pressure all the time, so yeah. Anyway, so what I'll do now is I'll lift the hydraulics up, I'll let this brace out, and then we'll lower it down. Brace is down. I'll chuck you guys down here so you can get a better view of it coming down. So we've got it all down now. The last thing left to do is just to lift these legs up and push the legs back up into their holders. I'll show you how that works. And that's how the legs fold up. And that's how we travel with it. 3 more to do. Let's get to it. Uh-oh, we got one stuck. Gonna have to lower this down. So I've just got this bit of C-section in here so the jockey wheel doesn't sink down into the ground. Looks like it's done the trick. I think it's nearly time we get some new boards for this. These are the original boards that we got with it. So they're probably 5 or 6 years old. They've done well to last this long, I'd say, because they spend most of their time in the dirt, exactly like you just saw then. You're right to back me up. Cheers. Make sure everything's good. Okay, let's go fill it up with diesel and give it a grease and go and set it up somewhere else. Alright, we'll just wait and see how much fuel that takes and then we'll get out there and set it up. I think we're going to put it up in our late citrus next to the Valencias. Oh, finished. I will see you guys out there. Good a spot as any. We're just down here at our Valencias now. There's a bit of a gully in this patch. This patch is high, so we're sort of on a bit of a slope. So we're only going to have it going 180 degrees. If there's going to be anywhere that the frost affects the most, it'll be in the hollows. So I'm not exactly sure if I've explained how the frost fan works properly before. So what it does is it goes up high, hopefully above the inversion layer, and blows warmer air down in to mix with the cooler air in the lower inversion layer when the frost settles. All right, first things first is I think I'm gonna have to dig a little bit because it doesn't look like that jockey wheel's gonna come down. So I've got to get it off the ute before I start putting the legs out, otherwise nothing will work. I might have went a touch too deep. Oh well. Alright, so now that we're done that, it is pretty much just the reverse procedure of what we've done to take it down. So we'll put the legs out. We've got to get it all squared off on the spirit levels there. And then once it's all lifted up off the ground, the wheels are off the ground and it's all level, then we can start lifting it up and getting it set up. I've got more digging to do, I think. You can see it's got to go this has got to go all the way to there, and we're already on the ground. So, yeah. Oh, I didn't notice that before. Lucky that's going to be off the ground soon. It's flat on the bottom. Sometimes this can be a little bit of a pain to set up. It's pretty hard to tell, but that leg over there is already as high as it'll go. I can't lift it up anymore, and I can only just get it in. That leg there is hard on the ground, and it's as high as it'll go. This leg here, it's on the ground, it's not hard on the ground, but then this leg here is completely off the ground still, and I had to do a bit of manoeuvring with the jockey wheel just to try to get each of the legs out. But yeah, when you're trying to set these things up on uneven ground or whatever, if you've got a little bit of a hump of where the ground sort of rises a little bit where one of your legs comes out, makes it a real pain. I think we are ready to put it up. We can take our lock pin out now. All the pins are in. All good. Okay. Before I put this up, I might just go over it quickly with the grease gun. Oh, look at that, the tyre's not flat anymore. Beauty. All right, it's all up in the air. Quickly show you these bubbles. Close enough for me. Okay, I think we can put it up now. it's all tight. I've locked that in now. I don't know what happened to it over at the neighbour's place, how that ended up becoming loose. Maybe the oil heats up or something in there during the day or something like that and causes a bit of expansion in the ram. Other than that, yeah, I'm at a loss, unless someone fiddled with it, I suppose. That is the other option. I'll just turn it on quickly and make sure it's going to start and make sure everything's all good with it. So let's turn my microphone around here. Okay, so same deal as last time. The start temp is set to come on at 3 degrees. The current temp is 17.6, and the stop temp, it'll turn off when it gets back over 5 degrees. Okay, so everything looks good here. We've got 12.6 volts. So if we just press start there, that'll start our preheat. That'll glow the glow plugs in the engine up the top. And when the timer hits 0, it should start. That's not good. Instantly got an underspeed warning before it even had time to ramp up. Okay, we'll go again. Wants to stay on this time. That's handy. Our volts are climbing, so we know the alternator's working. So I'm just going to let this run here for a little bit and warm up, and then I'll put it to high RPM, which will really ramp up the fan, engage the fan, and it'll start the oscillation. Speaking of the oscillation, I need to set these little lugs again. So if you remember from last time, this little wheel rotates as the fan spins around, and if we put these little lugs here, when it comes around and hits this lug, it'll rebound a little bit and it'll tell it to go back the other way. I'm actually just going to rotate it a little bit so that the roller is out of the way, because I want the roller on this side of the lug, and the roller's where I want the lug to be. So apparently I can't manually rotate it while it's turned on. Fair enough. While it's up again, we'll just have another look at our bubbles. They look all good. So now this has been idling up and warming up for a little bit now. I'll set it to high revs. That'll get the fan going. I'll be able to make sure everything works properly, listen for any noises it shouldn't be, and also it'll start oscillating once I rev it up, which will get that roller out of the way for me to put the lugs on. Spinning a lot more than it looks like it is in the video. I'll let that idle down for a sec, switch it off, and then yeah, I'll put these lugs on. So I wasn't going to let it run for as long as it did, but when I did turn it on, when I did bump the revs up a bit, it started oscillating the wrong way. I needed it to do at least 180 degrees before it got around. If it had been set to go the other way, I would have only needed to have it on for 10 seconds. That is all ready to go for the next frost. So if we call this 6 o'clock, meaning the front of the trailer is 12 o'clock. I've got this one at about 6:30. And if this is 12 o'clock, I probably want to put this one around 11 o'clock, because we don't need it going straight down the headlands. We sort of want it just inside the patch a little bit. So I'll set this second lug here. Where are you? About there. So we'll set this second lug here at about 11 o'clock, and that will have the frost fan blowing the way we want it to. Okay, we are all set here. We just have to, it's on manual at the moment, so we want to make sure we put that to auto. It's on oscillate, so the options that we have there are rotating options, rotate mode. So we can either be oscillate, it's set to go at 100% speed. So rotate mode, we can either be stationary, rotate, which is all the way around, or oscillate, which is the one we want to be on. And it's currently set to go clockwise at 100% rotation speed. It can't go any faster than that. Perfect, we're all set. Good, because I'm ready to knock off for the day. Anyway guys, I am going to leave this video here. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to chuck a like down below, and if you want to see more of this style of content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hope you had a great day, and we'll catch you in the next one. See ya.